Hey everyone, you are listening to Life in Motion, a podcast where I, Heather George, talk to my best friend, Jamie Jobe, about life, the ups, the downs, and everything in between, including the stuff we're not supposed to talk about. Let's get started. Do you ever hide stuff?
Like, you know what?
Clothes or shoes or whatever. And I did this over Christmas break. There were some plates that I wanted that I waited until they were on sale, like the best sale that I knew I was going to get. I waited till they were on sale and I bought them, and they were still a splurge, but sure, they were beautiful. They were worth it. I will keep them forever. So totally worth it. Totally in my price range. Okay. And they were on sale.
Okay.
But I hid them.
I could feel the butt coming that whole time, but you hid them?
But I hid them.
Why?
Because I didn't want the questions of why do you need these? Don't we have enough plates? But these are special dessert plates that I wanted to have during the holidays so we could have our special treats and have them on special plates. And so I find myself doing this a lot, hiding things until just the right moment so that, it's a good idea that you bought that instead of
timing it just right.
Timing it right instead of hearing him say, you don't need more plates.
You know, I don't know that I hide things, but I grew up with a mom that hid things. Is my mom listening to this?
I'm sure she is.
Mom, I love you. I love you so much. And I think it was because there was a certain spending limit. And sometimes she felt like we need more than what's in that spending limit. So I'll go ahead and get it and I'll just put it over here and bring it out at the appropriate time. So I think similar.
I'm very good at fudging the numbers. Just in my grocery budget, okay, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of stuff this week. And then next week, we'll only eat leftovers.
Oh my goodness. So that you can use that money for something else?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Brian Jobe would say that money it's going to come back around sometime. So it's not extra. You put it in the bank, you hold on to it, but not you.
Not me.
Not you. So do you feel like you have an issue with spending or stuff?
I find myself buying things or even just filling an online basket.
Oh, that counts too.
It does count.
Okay.
Filling an online basket when I'm angry or bored or frustrated or feeling less than. Like I'll find myself, I'll be scrolling, looking for nothing in particular.
Wow. You know what's interesting is in our culture right now, everything is so hateful on social media. And so I have not been on social media as much. And guess what I've replaced it with?
Shopping.
Online scrolling and shopping.
Yeah.
Just always need to know what's out there next. Don't want to miss it.
And
I may not even buy it.
Listen, I have 3 pink sweaters in my closet. And I'll just be thinking, maybe I need a new pink sweater. And so I start looking. What are pink sweaters at Anthropologie? What kind of sweaters do they have? And it gets ridiculous. It's really
It's weird. We just came out of a season when Marie Kondo, is that how you say her name? Mm-hmm. When it was all the rage and everyone's going to capsule wardrobe, and I'm going through the entirety of my house and I'm looking at every single thing and I'm looking at it and saying, do you bring me joy? And if it does not bring me joy, I hug it, I thank it for serving me so well, and I get rid of it. And I mean, I don't know, that's pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. And I think now everything I Marie Kondo'd, I just replaced.
You just found something new to bring in.
Yeah.
What is it that drives this desire for stuff?
I don't know. Maybe it's to feel significant or to feel lovely if you're a woman. To have some kind of, I don't know, benchmark for success. I think if I could afford that, then maybe I've arrived. I think some of the desires are good, and sometimes they're just misplaced. Their desire for some deep satisfaction and contentment, but we think the stuff will give us that.
Yeah,
and it rarely does.
Yeah, a lot of times, being online is such a problem because you start looking at Pinterest or something like that, and then you start looking at, man, this couch is so dumpy. I've got to get a new couch.
Or can you even have a birthday party without feeling like a complete failure?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That, it's so funny. B, my 8-year-old, asked Zoo, my 11-year-old, her birthday's coming up in just a week. What's your theme for your birthday going to be?
Oh my goodness.
Zuzu's like, theme? I don't need a theme. I'm just having it here at my house. And it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Which is interesting that already at 8 years old, she's like, what's your theme going to be?
Well, and what's crazy is then I hear you say Zuzu doesn't necessarily care, but I'm the one that doesn't care in my family. But then it's like the temptation to feel bad because other people do care. Like Eleanor would love the unicorn themed party with unicorns that jump out of cakes. And I mean, like all the things. And those things are expensive.
They are. You can spend more money on that birthday party than just because I do it this way where I'm not necessarily trying to impress somebody. But it's just like, this would be wonderful. One more unicorn. We could get this unicorn poop and put it on everybody's.
That's what desire?
Well, not my desire, but wouldn't Eleanor love unicorn poop? Because
she would.
You know what unicorn poop
like
is.
Slime or something.
Slime with glitter in it. So, I mean, everybody gets unicorn poop, and then we're going to get everybody unicorn horns to wear. And they need a mane to go with. I mean, it just is one thing.
It makes me wonder how much time when we follow those rabbit trails, how much time we spend thinking about ourselves rather than people around us. Like that's more thinking about your child, but it's an extension of you. Like, she would like this. So I'm thinking about my little world versus looking up and looking out to people around me.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I would say I do a similar thing, but complete opposite of you. Like rather than hiding something I've purchased, I hide the money. So what I mean by that is I feel like I'm a very generous person.
You are very generous.
Thank you. You are too. And I mean it. I'm a very generous person until you bump up to a certain number in my savings account. So
until I bump into your security.
Yes, that's what it is. Until you bump up into my security. Ouch. Oh, that sounds so much more painful. Like I would give the shirt off my back, except for not this one, because I need this one for myself.
Yeah.
It's self-focused, whether it's an addiction to online shopping and man, how easy is it? You can do Apple Pay or PayPal or Venmo or whatever. You can pay somebody without ever even seeing the number, the amount.
Mm-hmm.
It may be over your budget. You don't even know. Just like, paid. I do that with Amazon sometimes, like buy now, like you can do buy now and it just speeds up your purchase. I do it for responsible things like dog food, like buy now, I need that immediately. Well, guess what? I currently have 5 40-pound bags of dog food because I kept forgetting I had ordered it.
Oh my gosh. So what's driving these desires that the stuff, the status?
I think that underneath the root that we desire is contentment, is satisfaction, is feeling good in our own skin. I think that's the deep root at the very bottom.
You don't think
so?
Don't you think that we just want to be happy, that we just want, I mean, it's not, I don't think our desires are driving us to something spiritual, really, honestly.
No, I agree. Okay, I agree.
I think that our desires are driving us to our flesh. So, when I think about all the stuff that I want, saying. It's feeding greed in me.
And we're in a time where it's easy to miss.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to just brush right past this and not realize that we have these desires. Everything is built upon these types of desires. I have family members and friends in multi-level marketing, and I'm a fan of it. I use skincare from a company. I use essential oils from a different company. I use protein powder from a different company. You can get workout clothes from a different company. And I'm fans of all the companies. But it's interesting, as they're recruiting new people to sell their merchandise, I rarely hear them tell you of the benefit of the product they're selling. They tell you, you'll be happy when you have more money and we're paying your car payment.
You'll get all your dreams will come true.
Yeah.
If you start working for us.
And yeah, this is a multi-billion-dollar business and you deserve a piece of the pie. And perhaps you do. I can think of some of my friends that are passionate about the product, and I'm certainly not talking about them. But man, the way that it blows up my social media, like life will be better for you when you say yes, when you just jump into this team, this organization, this selling strategy.
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. You're right. We want to be happy.
Yeah.
And I still want to be happy.
Oh, yeah. But the stuff is not going to make me happy. You can even become discontent with your husband or your kids because on Instagram or Facebook, you see somebody celebrating their kids and their kids are successful and I love my kids and I champion them and I think that they are so talented and beautiful and I mean, they're not successful yet, but they're talented, they're beautiful, they're smart, they're on their way, but and they're doing it in their own way. They're walking their own path, they're walking their own. But I see other people championing their kids, and it's something that I want for my kids. And then I start becoming discontent with my kids and myself. Like, okay, Heather, you are not doing a good job with raising these kids. You're failing on so many levels. Why aren't you teaching them more about managing their money? Why are you letting them spend so much money instead of saving it or whatever? And so I had to set limits on my phone because even on social media, as much as I love my kids, it's causing me to be discontent with my kids and with myself and the way that I'm parenting them.
Wow. When I've had a rough day, I'd like to go home and watch Netflix. I would like to go home and watch a primetime show or what have you, or read a fiction book, or I would like to do anything that will give me relief and make me happy. And although I don't think any of those are bad, I don't. When I use those in place of hard work, when I shut my door and watch a show on Netflix so I don't have to discipline the 7-year-old because I can put her in front of a different screen and we can both be happy.
Something in your day stirred up tension. And instead of taking a few minutes to think, okay, what's the tension here?
Yeah.
How did somebody disappoint my expectations? Or where were my expectations disappointed, and how do I need to either express my expectations or readdress them because maybe my expectations are off. But instead of addressing what's the issue that I'm feeling, I'm going to distract myself here with stuff or things.
I use the word things.
Entertainment. I'm just, and then that entertainment or those things then fuel more tension and disruption internally.
I'm starting to wonder if television is my drug. When I'm tired, just turn on a little television. When I'm angry, just turn on a little television. When I don't want to discipline a kid, turn the television on for them. I'm not only a user, I'm a sharer. It's terrible. Yeah. Happiness. The desire is for happiness. I think you're right. The desire is to feel good about ourselves. The desire is to measure up. When it comes to stuff or success, I think the desire is often to measure up.
What about our status?
Yeah.
I mean, so you guys know that we've launched a podcast.
Well, obvi.
So
did you like that? I said obvi, so we can bring in some younger listeners.
Right. Okay. They'll totally. I relate to her. She speaks my language.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Obvi, go ahead.
but our status. I'm looking on social media and our different outlets of where you can tune into
How
our
many
podcast.
listens do we have? And I'll tell you
Yeah.
what's a challenge and the tension I'm feeling right now in that season, Heather, is I was telling our marketing director this. I feel like the goal for us is that Jesus would overflow in every conversation we have, that we aren't preaching to anybody, but we're having conversations, and hopefully you see in us that there's something different, and that's Jesus. And we point you to a community of believers where you can grow and get to know the Lord. So I want to go for that.
Yeah.
But in going for that, it means you're going for some listeners as well.
Yeah.
And
You're going for some status.
Yeah.
I've got to.
It's so hard. It's so hard. I want to stay in a place of humility, like, Lord, use this like you want it to be used, and don't ever let me get in the way. But man, I just the other day, I had 2 or 3 people stop me and tell me how many listens on this week's episode. And it's like, thanks, awesome. But
Yeah.
I don't want that to turn me into we can get a few more. If we can just get a few more. If we can just get a few more.
And here's the thing is I'll see there's friends of mine that are real influencers. Like they have
I know what
tons
you mean.
of and I
thousands.
love the content that they're putting out because they really do point to the Lord and they champion growing business or growing spiritually or whatever it is. That I love what they're doing and I want to promote them. But when it comes to my own self, there's this tension of, are you promoting yourself or are you promoting the way to Jesus?
Right. Yeah. It's a tension and a balancing act, and something that I think for me, I'm glad nobody gave me a microphone until I was the age I am now, because it's going to be hard now. But I used to want to be famous. Like if the world knew who I was, or what in the world are you kidding me? So somebody gave us a microphone when I have wrinkles and bags under my eyes, and it's a little bit more grounding.
So we've kind of scratched the surface, literally just scratched the surface of desire and discontentment and all of that really is hard to look at. What's our way out?
I think that it's finding ways to have intentional seasons or times in your life where you're just grateful. You're just grateful for the things that you have, the people in your life. Part of my story is, I think a great part of my story is that I had a daughter that was stillborn. And a friend of mine had a little boy stillborn just right after me. We weren't close at the time, but as soon as I heard the news, I reached out. It's the club you don't want to be in, but once you're in, you're in. So I reached out, and we got to be very close in that season of walking through grief together. And one of the things that she did was she started a blog. This was, 9 years ago. And it was just, she committed, I don't know if you remember the old Christian song, 10,000 Reasons, but she started a blog and was just committed that she was going to have journal gratitude, things that she was grateful for every day. And some days they were little things, very insignificant things. But over the course, she committed to doing it for an entire year in order to get to 10,000 things that she was grateful for. And I watched God heal her heart. I watched God set her free. I think gratitude is something that we take for granted because, of course, I'm thankful for these people around me, but we don't focus on. I think it's intentional.
Yeah, it has to be intentional because otherwise, talk about my kids again. I see all of the things that they're doing wrong.
Sure.
I see the bad grades, or I see the messy room, or I see the bad attitude, and I'm not grateful for the gifts that they do have, the joy that they do bring. I've got one kid that is a challenge. And
only one? One in particular.
One in particular right at this moment.
Sure,
Can press a lot of buttons. Just gets me riled up. But I've told him numerous times, I'm like, if we can channel this,
yes,
you will do great things.
Yes, yeah.
It's how are you going to allow yourself to be changed and use this for whatever the Lord is
Yeah.
calling you to, or are you going to use it to serve yourself?
Right.
And so it's gratitude for, look at this amazing kid that I have that is so smart and so talented. Or am I just going to gripe about all of the things that drive me crazy?
Yeah.
And it
You
is.
should start a gratitude journal.
I should. I should.
Or just an intentional season of gratitude. Maybe we can do that. Maybe you and I can commit to doing that for this next week until we record again.
That's a good idea.
I'm
How
gonna do it.
many things on our list of intentional gratitude?
What do you mean? You need me to tell you how many things to list?
Are we going to do 5 things, 10 things, 20 things? What's going to be on our daily list?
Daily. I don't want to set us up to fail, so it can't be 20. That's a lot of gratitude.
There's no way I've got 20 things.
Let's be honest. No, we do, but I don't want us to not do it at all because the ask is too big.
Okay.
Because I sometimes am a quitter. So let's not do 20, and 5 seems insignificant. Can we 7? I was going to say 10, but 10 sounds like a lot. Okay, 10 things every day for the next week. 10 things that we're thankful for. One of the things I liked about my friend that was writing the things she was grateful for was you saw the progression and you saw her walk into freedom. So early on, some of the things she was thankful for is like, I'm thankful for my husband. I'm thankful, very, very short, and man, because she did this for an entire year, you get 6 months in and she has a paragraph of gratitude for a specific thing that her husband did. And you just saw it really change her entirely. What started as a commitment to be grateful turned into a life of gratitude, an entire life of gratitude. I think she still emulates that to this day, 9 years later. A life of gratitude. I would like to be that person that when someone sees me, they're glad to be around me because they know I'm just going to be hope-filled, joyful, full of grace, and thankful. I want to be that person.
When I turn the Instagram off or the Facebook, and I'm not, because it's stirring up so much discontent in me.
Sure.
And then instead of when I'm grateful for my kids or whatever I see in my kids, not only does it bring out joy and gratitude for them and who they are, but it causes me to be a better parent.
Absolutely.
Because it changes my focus from all of the things that they and I am doing wrong to what is so good about them. And in turn, out of me comes direction and instruction for them and helping them to see the best about themselves.
This reminds me of the episode where we talked about anxiety, and I think it's true about desires as well. If you're going to change something, you can't eliminate or decide not to or roll up your sleeves and say, I'm going to be better. You have to replace something. And so we're just choosing to replace the striving and the working so hard to be happy with gratitude for where we are. We can do this.
Yeah.
We can do this.
I'm excited to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start my list, maybe even today.
Yeah.
I might not even wait until tomorrow. Okay. As we wrap up, Heather, I do have one question for you that I ask every week. What's one thing you're going to do this week that brings you joy? You're being very quiet.
I forgot to think about this.
Well, listen, you know what I was going to say until we had this conversation and I realized that maybe it would just provide me happiness and not true joy. So I'm not going to say it, but I will say it, even though I'm not going to say it. I was going to wash my car to bring me joy, but really it's peer pressure. My car's very dirty, but I have people that keep telling me to wash my car. And so I was going to do it for the joy of them not ever saying that to me again. But that's not real. That's not.
It doesn't bring you joy to have your car clean?
No. I mean, brings me joy to have the inside of my car clean, like if my kids will clean the inside of the car. But the outside where there's dirt, no, you can write me a note on the car. You like write your finger in the dirt or whatever, it'd be fine.
That doesn't bother you at all.
No, it doesn't.
That you can't see out the windows.
I can see out of the windshield. Not the windows, but I can see out of the windshield.
So you can't check your blind spots.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to read a book is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to worry about my car, or maybe I will. I'll go straight to the car wash, and while the suds are on I'm going to start this new fiction book.
While the suds are on your car, you write down a couple things you're grateful for.
Everybody needs a friend.
Like a drive-through car wash.
Everybody needs a friend that pushes them and angers them sometimes and makes them seething with rage over the dirt on their car. What are you going to do, Heather, that brings you joy?
Know what? I am probably going to cook a really great meal on Friday night. And
what's special about Friday night?
It's Friday night. It's a Sabbath. So
Okay. I'm checking my calendar right now.
I really do like to cook for people. Like,
No, you
I wouldn't
do.
say that I'm not asking for a compliment here, so don't give me one. I'm not saying that I'm a great cook.
You are, and I'm not giving
told you
empty.
not.
I'm not giving empty compliments. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say that I'm a great cook because I'm nowhere like I know people that are chef like cookers.
Are we comparing ourselves to chefs?
Oh no.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't even aspire to be a chef.
Carry on. You're going to cook a meal.
What I do like to do is cook a meal for people and just enjoy it with
Yeah.
people. And so that really does bring me a whole lot of joy to do that. So I'm planning on doing that on Friday.
Okay. Was that an invitation?
Yes.
Okay. I'll see you on Friday. Let's have a meal together, and then we'll get back with everybody else
And
next
when
week.
we're done eating, we're going to take down my tree.
No, I'm not coming. I won't come if that tree's still up. If you have enjoyed our podcast today, you should subscribe to Life in Motion. You can find us anywhere you download podcasts. You can also get more information at churchonthemove.com/inmotion. We hope you do something this week that brings you and the people around you joy. See you next time.